your memory to a level that you could only dream about. And notice these results in 30 minutes. Hard to believe? Neuroscientists are calling this new brain discovery the biggest advancement in brain science to date. It's called Limitless, the brain pill of the future. Take it, and within 30 minutes, you'll transport your mind to a new level of focus and clarity you would have never thought possible.
I took Limitless, and it started working in minutes. All of a sudden, it felt like a dark cloud had been lifted up right before my eyes. I have a mental clarity I've never felt before.
Biz execs, athletes, teachers, and students are calling Limitless a secret weapon for the brain. You have nothing to lose, so call now and find out how to get a free bottle today.
Find out how to get a free bottle of Limitless. Call 800-926-7413. That's 800-926-7413. Free bottles for limited time, so call now. 800-926-7413. 800-926-7413.
Sactown Sports will be road tripping to Vegas to cover the big game. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Yeah, it's Friday. The Kings are in Indianapolis, so is Kyle Draper. He appears to be deep in thought here, or he was moments ago before we got going. Drapes, how are you? How's the team? How is the team dealing with the all-star snubbage that we chronicled yesterday?
Hey, man, everybody's upset, right? I mean, coaches, players, staffers, the ownership, everybody's upset. It's like, and I'm seeing all the tweets out there from the fans. I'm seeing all the comments out there. I mean, to be the only playoff team in terms of top 16 in neither conference to not have an all-star, to me, that's just blasphemous, disrespectful. And when you look at it, and don't get me started, Whitey, you're already getting me fired up. I came in, I was calmed down, Indianapolis, kind of a sleepy town, had some nice dinner last night. I took it easy. I didn't hit the streets or anything like that, but now you got me fired up. I still can't believe that neither of our guys got the all-star bid. And it's kind of a bittersweet pill to swallow because the All-Star game is going to be right here in Indy in a couple of weeks. You got the signage out there, and news channels are talking about, it's going to be a great day of basketball, great weekend of basketball. Here are the All-Star reserves and no mention of the Sacramento Kings. It's just shocking.
Yeah, well, one of the reasons I'm getting you riled up is because I honestly thought by now I would be, for the most part, like annoyed but over it. But the more I think about it, the more angry I get for this reason. Last year when the Kings finally broke through, and I know Domas had been an all-star before, deservedly, but last year the Kings broke through with 2 all-stars. And to me, that seemed to be an acknowledgement from the league, from the powers that be, that Sacramento, you're legit. We recognize you. We see what you're doing. And part of that would be down the road, if there's any ever question about who's an all-star, well, we know Sacramento's legit. So I feel like last year, part of the joy was that feeling like, okay, we've arrived. We get the respect now. We get the respect that comes with, having a couple all-star selections. And instead, you get this year, and you get sand kicked in your face again, and that's what's so frustrating. I thought we were beyond that. We should be.
I thought we were in the club, right?
Yeah,
I thought we were one of the ones, We weren't these young up-and-comers, feel-good story anymore, We weren't, Houston Rockets or out east, Orlando Magic. Like, we had bona fide all-stars, especially when we look at, what's going on not only this year, but last year also. You had 2 all-NBA guys. They weren't just all-stars. They were all-NBA guys. So they should be already in the club. And then I feel like, and we talked about this all last week and this week, I feel like the All-Star is almost like a Lifetime Achievement Award or a reputation kind of award, because when you look at some of the guys that made it, and I know they're stars, I know I'm going to get on Steph Curry again, but if you took the names off the sheet and you just looked at this year and what they accomplished and what their teams accomplished, there's no way De'Aaron Fox shouldn't be there. There's no way Domantas Sabonis shouldn't be there. And so I'm hoping, the Kings come out here and take it out on Indiana, these Pacers teams, who got their own all-star and Tyrese Halliburton and get a little payback out here tonight.
I understand your view. I don't share it, but I understand and respect it. But I still think the reason I say that is because, I think either way you look at it, your way, my way, there's still no way Karl Anthony Towns should be on there instead of Domas. That's the thing, So it cost Domas a little bit of money, huh?
It did. You know what? One point something.
1.3.
Yeah, 1.3. And now you mess with my man's pockets.
Yeah.
That upsets me also. That should upset Domas. I'm counting those chips. As Jay says, don't count somebody else's money. No, I'm counting his money for him in this case because this dude lost out on some money, and then he's coming back home. Obviously, a place he's played, for 4+ seasons, and so I'm expecting, the best of Domas tonight. But I just can't. Here's the thing, Mike. Anybody that tries to explain why the Kings aren't represented at the All-Star weekend this year, they really can't do it. The committee coaches rewarded winning. All right, so why is Anthony Davis on there? Why is Steph Curry on there? Well, they got Karl Anthony Towns is having a great year. Well, Domas is having a better year, and so whatever logic they try to use, it just doesn't add up.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, that's really irritating about this, but. Onward and upward. By the way, today we're only with you for an hour before we get to game night, but it's going to be quite an hour. I know that we have I'm calling it, I hope you're okay with this. I call it Drape's Dimes. When you get to talk to one of the coaches or somebody, we're going to share that interview today. Jordi Fernandez, right? How do you feel about that? We got an edition of Drape's Dimes coming up today.
No, I like that.
All right,
as a player, I was known to dish out dimes. I wasn't just a scorer back in that day. I'm an assist man, too. I set people up.
Yeah.
So I like that. Yeah, I like that.
All right. We got that coming up. And then as far as the Pacers go, hey, Drapes, what the Kings have to do tonight, among other things, you got to batter this team on the backboards. The Pacers, and they're wonderful and they're fun, and we know what happened when they came in here. They're a very poor rebounding team. The Knicks destroyed them last night on the glass. So that's one area in which I think the Kings can establish the foundation for revenge tonight, beat up this team on the backboards.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Domas, 26 is his career high, go for 30 tonight, right?
Yeah.
And the offensive glass, too, not just, you're right, because the Knicks, pounded them on the old boards last night and able to get the win. And so this is a battered, bruised, weary Indiana team that got back, late at night. And so it should be there. What are they, 28th, I think, in the league in rebounding? And so they don't have anybody that's going to get you 15, 18, 20 rebounds like Domantas Sabonis. Jalen Smith, he did a great job, when we saw him. But now you got Pascal, not necessarily known as a big-time rebounder. And so you're right, they should be able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, of course, last time they came here, we thought the Kings would be able to take advantage of their short roster. And it didn't work out that way, but we'll see. Fingers crossed tonight. Halliburton played last night, Tyrese Halliburton. He played just over 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'll bet anything, if he plays tonight, it's going to be at least 20 minutes. You know why?
Why?
Because that's the minimum to get credit for a game. Seriously.
No, you're right.
Yeah, you got to play. You got to play 65 games, as we've been talking about a lot this week, and you have to play 20 minutes or more in one of those games for it to count. So he's one of those guys, like we've been focusing on Joel Embiid, but Tyrese Halliburton's another guy who's wrestling with that whole limit, or actually it's not a limit, it's a minimum for how many games you have to play to be eligible for awards.
Yeah, and they're spinning it that, he's on a quote-unquote minutes restriction. Well, the minutes restriction, as you said, it happens to coincide with that minimum needed to play. And it's interesting, he must play at least 65. Or he's missed 13 games so far this season. If he misses 17, then you're getting into that dicey area. The most he can miss is 17. And so, it's I expect to see him out here tonight, second night of back-to-back. So what? It doesn't matter. You're right about that. I mean, this is big-time money for him. We talked about it yesterday, a chance to earn, upwards of $40 million more dollars makes all NBA. And so, no, you're right. It just so happens the minutes restriction coincides with the amount needed to qualify for that game.
Now I got a question for you, Mr. Play-by-play guy, and you've seen the league every which way, upside down, inside out. How did the Lakers beat your Celtics last night? I mean, no AD, no LeBron. How did that happen?
Hey, it's typical in the NBA, right? I mean, shoot, we saw it last couple weeks ago when Indiana came into Sacramento and beat us. No Pascal, no Tyrese Halliburton in that game. Indiana was banged up, and yet they pulled off the upset. And so I think two things happened. The Celtics took the Lakers for granted. A little bit of a letdown. Like, think about it. You show up, you get excited, you wake up that morning, man, I get to go against LeBron. I get to go against AD. I'm about to give these dudes work. And then midway through the day, you find these guys aren't playing. So you let up a little bit of a disappointment. And then the Lakers played out. Like D'Angelo Russell looked like Brooklyn Nets D'Angelo Russell. All-Star D'Angelo Russell. Austin Reeves looked like Team USA Austin Reeves. And so it's interesting now because after that loss, a lot of people jumping off that Celtics bandwagon, questioning the Celtics. And they do have some issues. I mean, they're a 3-point or bust kind of team. When you look back historically, going back the last 10 to 15 years, at the Celtics playoff losses, it's usually because they went cold at the wrong time. And we saw a little bit of that last night.
We know the Kings had interest in Siakam, didn't get him. There is another player we think the Kings are interested in, and we just found out that 2 first-rounders apparently not enough to land this player. We're right back with that. We got Drapes, Dimes coming up. Trade talk today when we come right back with the Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Jiffy Lube, a proud partner of Sactown Sports, is sending Styles and Watkins on the road to Las Vegas. Starting next Wednesday from 10 to 2, join the guys live from Radio Row.
Oh, yeah, we won't need that. We good.
Get through.
Yeah, we're good. All right.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
It's Styles and Watkins live from Vegas, all part of our Jiffy Lube road trip on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
We got Kyle Draper in Indianapolis. Get ready to bring us the play-by-play tonight on NBC Sports California. Whitey here in Sacramento. Drapes, before we get to trade talk today, I have a question. It's a serious question. Hopefully I'm not the only one interested in this, but when I watch people on TV, and I know it may be different for news as opposed to a game, but can you wear whatever you want to wear? Do you ever get hey, Katie's going to wear this, so you wear that? Or is there ever anybody says, we didn't like that tie you had last night? Or how does that work? Please fill me in.
No, man, I get to choose whatever I want. At least, no pre-show meeting about it. Me and Katie don't talk and try to match or anything like that. I think especially when you get, to this level, it's like you sort of figure out what you can and can't wear. I've never been told. You know what? I will say, when I first started out on TV, they did tell me certain colors. I needed to stay away from, and so I sort of adhered to that. You won't see me wearing a whole lot of like brown. Brown's not a very flattering color on TV. Although I think tomorrow in Chicago, I do have a brown top.
There we go.
Yeah. But nobody tells us what to wear. No consultant or anything like that.
Gotcha. I apologize if that's a dumb question, but I wonder that all the time. And you must spend, it's none of our business how much, but you must spend a lot of money on your wardrobe, right? I mean, that's can you deduct that? Is that a business expense?
Come on, Whitey. Who you talking to, bro? Who you talking to? First of all, I will say this. When I was in Boston, and I need to put this out there in Sacramento, we got these Sacramento designers, clothing stores. I had this deal with this store in Boston for about 5 years, and I got all kinds of stuff. I mean, the boy got loaded up. So I'm still wearing some stuff from back then.
I gotcha.
And so I do have to spend a little bit here lately. Like, remember, I got a spot in Toronto. I think I told you. Well, maybe not you, but last year. Like, when we make our trip to Toronto, I got a spot up there that I got to get up. Yeah, man. You got to stay fresh. These young kids are coming for you, You got to stay fresh and look relevant out here.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Just something I wonder about. I appreciate that. A lot of us have been wondering about LeBron, especially since after the Lakers lost in Atlanta this week, LeBron on X posted an hourglass emoji, and a lot of people thought, "Oh, I don't know what it was supposed to mean." But a lot of people thought LeBron saying, "My time is running out here." Who knows what he meant? But anyway, Rich Paul had to come out today and say LeBron will not be traded. We are not asking for it. I remember a time when the team was the only one that could say whether a guy's going to be traded or not. But I know it's different now, and he is LeBron. Did you ever think there was anything to the speculation that, maybe it's time to move off of LeBron?
No, not at all, because I don't think, first of all, it's LeBron James, and no matter what, he moves the needle. He puts fans' butts in seats. We saw it last night in Boston. He didn't play, fans were super upset. Like it was like the level of vitriol that Boston's fans threw LeBron away was crazy. Second of all, any package the Lakers get back for LeBron isn't designed to help you win now. So if you're the Lakers, are you really going to sort of bottom out, or I don't want to say tank, but punt on this season? And Brian Windhorst made an interesting point also on ESPN today when talking about the late Jerry Buss, late owner of the Lakers. He said their mission, their mantra was to always treat the star player the best they could, because other star players notice that. And so if they trade a guy like LeBron James, or they do LeBron wrong, if you will, who's to say the next superstar won't remember that and be like, you treated it? And so I never thought there was anything to it. Never.
Gotcha. It's funny, though, as you're talking there, I'm remembering when Dr. Buss reached that, at the time, historic agreement with Magic. And it was for $25 million over 25 years. And you're like, oh, my goodness. How can they that? Crazy. Yeah. Hey, yesterday we were talking about the NBA draft, which is now going to be 2 nights. And I think you and I were agreeing that second night, second round, who cares? But this year, if Bronny's in it, won't that add some second round drama, perhaps?
Nah, bro. You're reaching.
It's a question.
No, it's one pick. Like it will add some. Yes, I'm not shooting. It will add some. But what if he goes 32nd? What if he goes 35th? What about the other 25 picks or whatever, something like that? That's like a small thing. What's interesting about that? So LeBron has become a free agent after this season.
Exactly.
Ronnie goes to Dallas, let's say.
Exactly.
All the talk now is going to be, watch out.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, right. Yeah, all right. I'll give you that. But, I'll tell you this. As much as I'm an NBA fan, as much as I love the association, I would not be watching day 2 of the NBA draft. I would be. Remember, it'll be nice outside. It'll be, light out later.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to stick around for pick number 55, 60. I got better things to do. My man G-Man over here smiling. G-Man, real quick. 2-day NBA draft. Are you watching the second day? Exactly. You just saw G-Man. G-Man gave me the look. He's like, hell no. So I'm not sure what the NBA is trying to do. I mean, I get it, but it's not the NFL. This is going to be a one-and-done kind of thing, unless they spice it up somehow. I just can't see, much interest in this.
Yeah. Bronny will spice it up a little bit because, as you say, it may be an indication of where his dad's going, but we'll see. The rest of it, we'll see. Speaking of trades, okay, so we know LeBron is probably not going to be traded, and as you pointed out, we probably knew that anyway. But Dorian Finney-Smith is a guy that we think the Kings have some interest in, right?
Yes, I mean 3-and-D guy, right?
A source told the New York Post that the Nets rejected an offer of 2 first-rounders for Dorian Finney-Smith, who is
what?
Yes, we don't know who made the offer. But yeah, a source told the Post the Nets said no thanks to 2 first-rounders for Dorian Finney-Smith, and he apparently is coveted by not just the Lakers, but also and the Kings, but the Suns, Thunder, Bucks, and Mavericks. So maybe at this point the Nets feel like, no, there's enough teams who want him. We can get more than 2 number ones for him, or maybe they weren't very attractive number ones. But that surprised me.
I tell you what. If Dorian Finney-Smith is going to net more than 2 first-round picks, the NBA got a problem. This is. I'm
with you.
Like, that's another reason why LeBron won't get traded. If Dorian Finney-Smith is 2 first-round picks minimum, LeBron's going to be 8 first-round picks. Your firstborn and ownership stake in your franchise. Like, what are we? Dorian, the Brooklyn Nets, what are they doing?
I know.
Finney-Smith. It's funny because I saw that report online, and Nets fans are like, what are we doing? Who do we have running the shop here? 2 first-rounders for Dorian Finney-Smith? Why not? Like, the market is high, man. Maybe they're just playing hardball, trying to just drive it up just a little bit. And then, maybe right before the deadline, he'll get moved. Another player to keep an eye on, Ben Simmons, who's sort of back right now, but not back. Did you see that Ben Simmons came back, played 1 game and tweaked his knee, and now he's out again?
I did. You know who loves Ben Simmons is your guy, Carmichael Dave. I know you listen to his show every day, even when you're on the road.
I set the alarm, yep.
But I believe for a long time he's been in on Ben Simmons. It's just he makes so much money. Now with another injury, that's I don't know how serious the knee injury is, but it sounds like it could be an actual concern.
Yeah, and I just with Ben Simmons, if he played, maybe I would kick the tires on it. But with all that money, like you said, his contract, his unavailability, thanks but no thanks. I don't know why Carmichael Dave is thinking about Ben Simmons' early Philadelphia years,
sure,
all-star. Like, I think that ship has sailed with Ben Simmons. Like, I don't think he'll ever approach that kind of level again.
I think Ben Simmons is the type of guy that if if nobody wanted him and you could get him on a real cheap deal and there's, hey, maybe, he looked good in the workout, let's take a flyer on him. But other than that, it would be ridiculous to invest all that money in a guy that's proven he's probably not going to be able to play for you.
He's the kind of guy you wait for the buyout market or something like that, He just happens to be on the waiver wire or a free agent. You bring him in for a workout, but you don't give up any kind of noticeable assets for that guy.
How about Royce O'Neal? I know we've talked about him. According to reports out of New York, Royce O'Neal could fetch a first-round pick and has been linked to the Mavericks, Nuggets, Pacers, Bucks, Timberwolves, Suns, and the Kings.
And how much would it take a first-round pick?
It could fetch a first-round. Yeah, they could get a first-round pick for him, according to this report.
I don't know. I just – it doesn't move the needle for me, man. It's, it's a solid player, good player, but he's what, your 7th man? You giving up a first-round pick for a 7th man, Whitey? I don't know.
Not him. Not
him, right?
Yeah,
not him. We keep bringing up, at least I do, Matisse Thybulle. That's a guy I definitely would give up a protected first-round pick for. I think he's perfect. But Royce O'Neal, I mean, if they make a move for Royce O'Neal, Kings fans, are we really celebrating that? That's nice. That's, it's solid. But a month ago, we were talking Pascal Siakam. How we go from Siakam to Royce O'Neal? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. Bless Royce O'Neal. Bless him. Dorian Finney-Smith. I two number one's too much for him. Royce O'Neal, probably not interested. I still think I would be interested in Bruce Brown.
Yeah. First round pick for Bruce Brown?
Yeah, I think I'd be interested in that. But, it looks like it's a real seller's market. And that's why these prices are so goofy. There's not that much product available, and there's a lot of potential buyers here. So that's why you end up with Dorian Finney-Smith. He's yours for 2 first-round picks. Maybe the market is just so squirrely right now that Kings are better off sitting out.
Yeah, I think so. Like it, and I forget whether Sam Amick or somebody wrote, or who we had on the other day, that it might be more prudent to wait till the off season.
Yeah.
Like, go as far as you can this year. And me and Jordi Fernandez sort of talk about this coming up in just a little bit on that interview that we're going to play about the goals for this year versus some of the long-term goals. And I think it may give us an insight into what the Kings might be thinking come trade deadline, what they might be thinking as they push for the playoffs here.
Yeah, we got Drape's Times with Jordi Fernandez coming up in just a little bit. Up next, we have the story of how Kyle Shanahan, speaking of trades, he wasn't sure about CMC. And I just found a Super Bowl quarterback rating that I don't think Kyle Draper's going to care for. That's when we come right back here. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Domantas Sabonis faces his former team as the Kings are in Indiana.
Drives inside, reaches, comes up short. Sabonis with a rebound for a triple-double.
It's the Kings and Pacers Friday at 4:30 on your home for Sacramento Kings basketball. Sactown Sports.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton & Price in your corner. When you call Ashton & Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real-life person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
It's time to buck up, Sacramento. The professional bull riders are back. PBR Sacramento Wrangler Long Live Cowboys Classic will take over downtown's Golden One Center this February 2nd through 4th. 3 huge nights of edge-of-your-seat bucking, featuring some of the biggest bulls and toughest cowboys on the planet. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.
Stop by any participating Save Mart location for a 20% off ticket discount code when you buy Monster Energy.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the newly designed Callaway Chrome Tour line of golf balls, offering outstanding tour performance. From cover to core, Chrome Tour is the new gold standard tour ball for players who want the best in distance and feel. Chrome Tour is engineered for outstanding performance with exceptional speed, consistent flight, incredible spin, and greenside control. Ask about the full line of Callaway Chrome Tour golf balls at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at HagenOaks.com.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Sactown Sports will be road tripping to Vegas to cover the big game. Brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Drive, guys. Short show today because we have Kings basketball. Kyle Draper's in Indianapolis now, getting ready for the Pacers and the Kings, of course. Drapes, before we get any further, I just wanted to say rest in peace, former Oakland Raider linebacker, and, of course, Apollo Creed.
Yes.
Carl Weathers passed away today at the age of 76.
Yeah, great actor. Obviously, I remember him, mostly from those Rocky movies. And think about it, like his role got a spinoff, spinoff movie, Creed. So, rest in peace. I feel like I just saw him in a commercial.
He's in a commercial for the Gronk kick.
Right.
Yeah.
That's him, right?
Yeah,
that's
he's his
what I
coach.
thought.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that's tough to see, man, and tough to hear.
Yeah. And Jay, when we were talking about it, Jay said, don't forget Action Jackson. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
They don't make them like they used to anymore, right? Movies.
That was my joint right there, man.
Jay.
Delaplane,
Yeah. I think in Action Jackson, there's some guy that's criminal or whatever, and he has like a flamethrower, and he says, hey, how do you like your ribs? He turns on the flamethrower. Good old Action Jackson. Yeah, he was really funny, too. He was on Arrested Development. So anyway, former Oakland Raider, rest in peace, Carl Weathers. With the Super Bowl coming up here, there was a story we talked about yesterday because Jed York met with the media, and he said some things about how Kyle told me a long time ago that Brock Purdy is going to be really good. And we kind of already heard that. It's interesting, but this really caught my eye and my ear, Drapes. Another thing that Jed York said yesterday was that when they were going to trade for Christian McCaffrey, quote, Shanahan thought it was a lot to give up for a running back. And I think John and I thought it was just the right amount to give up for Christian. I remember that very vividly, where he said, look, it's not a pass rusher. It's not a quarterback. It's a good player. Do we want to give up that much? And collectively, it was like, do you want him to go to L.A.? So that's one of the reasons they decided to trade for CMC. But that's hilarious to me that Shanahan's like, I don't know if he's that good.
And now look at him.
Yeah.
Like really, the leader of your offense in terms of what he can do for you. I mean, in so many different areas, running out of the backfield, catching. I mean, he has really transformed this Niners offense. But we also got to remember at the time, too, Whitey, CMC was banged up, coming off a couple of injuries. We didn't know how durable he would be. And he's been an Iron Man since coming to San Francisco. That will go down. It's not necessarily Herschel Walker kind of trade, but in terms of what it's done to this Niners team, I mean, it has transformed this franchise and put them in a position where they're one win away from the Super Bowl. I keep maintaining, and my boy Cam Newton agrees with me, CMC is the best player on this team and to me the most valuable.
Yeah, he's nothing without Trent Williams and Juszczyk clearing the way for him, but whatever. I wondered what you think of this here. This was at NFL.com today.
Yeah.
Greg Rosenthal, I believe, is the guy who put this together. And he ranks all the quarterbacks who've ever been in the Super Bowl. So every one of them. And he's got at the top, he calls it the GOAT pasture. 1 Brady, 2 Unitas, 3 Montana, 4 Peyton Manning, 5 Marino, 6 Aaron Rodgers, 7 Mahomes, and 8 Brett Favre. And that's one whole category. It's hard to argue with, right?
Yeah, I guess. In terms of talent, yeah. All right, I'll be okay with that. Yeah,
Okay.
It's just I feel like Aaron Rodgers is so overrated right now.
I agree with you.
His one Super Bowl, but okay, I'll give it to him.
I agree with you. He's got middle of the pack here. Remember, we're talking about what, 58? This is a 58 Super Bowl, so middle of the pack. 45, Chris Chandler. 46, Billy Kilmer. 47, Joe Flacco. 48, Brad Johnson. 49, Mark Rippon. 50, Jeff Hostetler. Goff at 51. Nick Foles, 52. Neil O'Donnell. Colin Kaepernick. Jake Delhomme, 55. Jalen Hurts at 56. which is just two spots.
That's ridiculous.
2 spots higher than Brock Purdy, who hasn't actually played in a game yet. And I was just wondering what you thought.
Well, you know darn well what I think about that. I think of that article, that story, the same way I think about box scores. If I could, I'd just ball it up and throw, because it just totally messes up, skews like the rest of the article. To have Jalen Hurts, who was runner-up MVP last year, who led his team to the Super Bowl, way that far down behind some of those names who I can't even. Mark Rippon?
Jake Delhomme, 55.
Jake Delhomme?
Neil O'Donnell, 53. Jeff Hostetler, Mark Rippon, Brad Johnson, Chris Chandler, 45. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's
I have to admit,
hilarious.
it caught me by surprise. Purdy is ahead of Jimmy by 1 spot. Jimmy G. Again, Purdy has not even played in the Super Bowl.
Played a Super Bowl yet. It's somebody, that they got to fill content, man. It's like, all right, let me come up with this. And so they got him in the. So we're talking how many? The 58th Super Bowl?
58.
58, right? Yeah. So there's been, and then most like Brady has started so many, and like where's like an Eli Manning on there or somebody like that. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I hate these kind of lists though, because as Big Perk says on ESPN, it's not your list, it's not Malika's list. It's my list. So this is this one guy's opinion. It just, for Jalen Hurts to be that low. And I'm not even going to throw shade at Brock Purdy, because it's Brock Purdy is what he is. But Jalen Hurts?
Eli Manning is 30th, and I don't think you're going to like this either.
What?
At 26 is Donovan McNabb. So
who's ahead of Donovan McNabb? That's how I base things on. Don't tell me. Who's
it's
like
Russ and Stabler and Kenny Anderson and Kurt Warner, Jim Kelly, Len Dawson, Bob Greasy. Donovan McNabb is actually very high on this list.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that.
Okay, all right.
No, I think, in my opinion, Donovan McNabb should be a Hall of Famer.
Okay,
like, I'm of that belief. But when you started naming some of those names right ahead of him, like I have no problem with that.
Yeah. Cam's at 35. Anyway, thank you. I don't mean to, always be going after you on Purdy, but I saw it just before we went on there, and it actually cracked me up. It's like, wait, how Brock Purdy hasn't even played? How could he be ahead of anybody? But 2 behind Jalen Hurts. So we'll see what we see here. And by the way, Brock Purdy with a big, I'm sure you saw this, just signing a huge national endorsement deal with Toyota now. So he's going to be raking in some dough. Good for him.
His Toyota deal probably pays him more than his NFL contract, I would imagine. And this is a smart business move, I think, on Toyota's part. Like, what if he does go out there and win the Super Bowl? What if he is Super Bowl MVP?
Yeah.
The price you get him for today ain't going to be tomorrow's price, Yeah. And so I think this is a prudent move, a smart move. And this is just the beginning for Brock Purdy in terms of his fame. If he can lead the Niners to the Super Bowl, talking about movies, endorsements, just his story, he's going to be on all the talk shows in the morning and everything. Like, his profile is about to skyrocket if he can get it done in a week.
I know a lot of people have been comparing him to Kurt Warner. And there was even a piece in The Athletic today, I think David Lombardi, comparing these 49ers this year to that Greatest Show on Turf. And to me, it's a bit of a reach. I understand it, but I don't think of those two teams as being that similar. I mean, the Rams were just like, boom, quick strike,
right.
And deep. They threw deep, and the 49ers are a little more measured. So, yeah, there's similarities, but to me, I don't see them as being really similar.
No, I agree, and I look at the Niners as a more varied offense, if you will, like a little more depth.
To
them than, because what the Niners can do, and correct me if I'm wrong, like if it is a grinded out kind of game, like they can be physical. Like I feel like the Niners are a physical team when they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I felt like that Greatest Show on Turf team was more finesse, more quickness, like you said, quick strike. When I look at, Debo and CMC and the way they play, they aren't finesse players. These are power guys. And so I think that's a big difference between the two.
Do you think the Chiefs have potentially a huge advantage in this game when it comes to field goal kicking?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Moody, sort of corrected some things, second half the other day, but in the Super Bowl, bright lights, biggest of stages, sure, it'll be a controlled environment. You won't have to worry about weather or anything like that. But no, I do think they have an advantage. Like Moody, do you have faith in him?
I do, and I don't know why. I think I'm just.
Do you really?
I do, and I think it's just a matter of I'm just going to ignore the evidence and just assume he'll be fine.
Is that like a blind faith, though?
Yeah,
is that
I think
just
it's exactly what
more
it
of a
is.
hope instead of an actual oh yeah, this guy, he's money, he's automatic.
Yes, I think you're right. I wouldn't deny that. I think that's exactly what it is. I saw something this week about field goal kicking in the Super Bowl, and it said, you really, in the Super Bowl, you can't tell how guys are going to kick based on how they've kicked before. Now, that's not really in the 49ers' favor, but it means that, okay, maybe it's not going to be as big of an advantage as it looks like, because I'm with you on paper. It looks like a huge advantage for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think so. And you also got to remember, too, when you talk about the Super Bowl, it's not your ordinary football game. It's everything that comes with it, the pageantry, the media, the halftime show that takes forever. I think all of that plays a factor in not only do the Chiefs have the advantage, I think, at the kicking game, but having been there before, meaning Patrick Mahomes and not necessarily Brock Purdy, I think that helps them out. We know the Niners have been there, a couple of years ago, but I think, having that quarterback who's the face of the league, who's been there, doesn't get wide-eyed or anything like that, I think that helps the Chiefs out. But shoot, man, Brock Purdy has been proving me wrong all freaking season long. So who knows what's going to happen?
Well, that's enough football for now. We'll get back to the Kings and the Pacers. We got another edition of Drape's Dimes. He has an exclusive interview with Kings assistant Jordi Fernandez. We've got that for you when we come right back here. It's the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports is hitting the road on our Jiffy Lube road trip. Join Styles and Watkins live from Radio Row in Las Vegas next Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 2 as they get you ready for the big game.
Plus, we have additional coverage on all our shows from Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross and the Drive Guys.
Okay, Styles and Watkins live from Vegas, all part of our Jiffy Lube road trip next week on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Hello, I'm Frank Cockrell with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. Hurry up and wait. The Federal Reserve stated that rates will remain steady for now, but gave no guidance as to when anticipated rate cuts will begin. While their policy has shifted to possibly lowering rates, we are left waiting to see when that will begin. The Fed sees a good balance between employment and inflation for now, but won't make a move on lowering rates until there is greater confidence that the 2% inflation target is substantially in their sights. One area of employment that seems to be taking a hit is fishing, especially shrimp fishing. The industry is changing from traditional fishing to aquaculture, where shrimp and fish such as red snapper are grown in ponds, harvested and sold. As this can be done at a lower cost than traditional boats, it's hitting this industry hard. The danger of losing the traditional waterfront is real, and now only 10% of shrimp consumed is wild caught. To many traditional fishers and environmentalists, the shrimp industry is becoming a jumbo problem. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment to watch videos and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Frank Cockrell is a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corporation, a broker-dealer member SIPC and registered investment advisor. Retirement Security Centers is not an affiliate of Lincoln Financial Advisors.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try soon. Harry's is available online and in-store at a retailer near you. Get a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/news. That's harrys.com/news. Or check us out at your local Costco for a price you can't find anywhere else. Just look for the Chrome Razor with 13 blade refills at your local Costco. You can't miss it. Exclusive to Costco members.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of Sactown Sports 1140's road trip to Vegas for the big game. For all the latest game news to all the celebrity interviews from Media Row to all the festivities going on during game week, Sactown Sports has it all covered, just like Jiffy Lube, the place to go before you go on your next road trip. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
Time to get your tickets for the Sacramento Sports Hall of Fame celebration. February 4th at Thunder Valley. Inductees include Matt Barnes. Go to Ticketmaster.com.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Yeah, Kings and Pacers tonight. And now from Indianapolis, it's time for another edition of Drape's Dimes.
All right, here with Kings Associate Head Coach Jordi Fernandez. Jordi, thanks for taking the time here on a game day. Tough game tonight against Indiana, part of this 12-day, 7-game road trip. How would you assess how this trip is going so far?
I think so far so good. Obviously, the record is important, and I believe we're 3-1. We've been, after struggling for a few games, result-wise, I think we saw some good things, but we lost games at the end, and that's always frustrating. But, you always see the same from our guys, a bounce back. And after the struggle, we worked. Obviously, we had to clean up some things, get better, and the guys showed the improvement in closing games and, even like the Dallas game that we're up and they make a comeback. And I think we still, at the end, we figured out the way. And in the past, or we've lost some games in those situations. So I think that shows growth and maturity from some of our guys, and it's a good sign. And like the NBA, it is like you have to move on to the next one. So last game in Miami, we were not good enough. They wanted more than us. We didn't recover a single 50-50 ball. Didn't get enough deflection in the second half, but that tells you that our ability to hustle and play hard was not elite, and that's what you need in this league, especially on the road. You have to be able to grind and to win some ugly ones. We couldn't really make a shot. Keegan was the only one getting going for us from the 3-point line. But I think we would have been better defensively. We would have played harder. We would have had a chance. So that's how you learn. It's been a long road trip, obviously. Changing time zones and all that stuff is tough. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't have it. But we gotta learn from it. And yesterday we watched film, and I think we'll be ready tonight.
How do you balance the 82 games, not getting too high and too low, but also trying to convey the sense of urgency that each and every game matters?
I think it starts with coach and the accountability that he he demands, and I think the accountability, like he said before, it goes both ways. And I think that we're always gonna ask for more just because we believe our guys are very good, and I think we've played well. Um, we have a winning record in a good position, but we believe we can be better. And for us, development and improvement is important. We're not a final product at this moment. We have still a pretty young roster, and we believe we can do really good things. And you have to have like some short-term goals, some mid-term goals, and some long-term goals.
Right.
So I think that's who we are. Obviously we want to fight to be a playoff team because we believe we are a playoff team. And then once we get there, to do better than last year, and that's how you go into the next season and the season after.
Right.
And you build a winning program not just for 1 year, but for many years.
Let's talk about this game tonight. The Indiana Pacers, saw them just a couple of weeks ago. They were shorthanded, but they still came in our building and got the win. How much tape have you looked at versus, from that game, and what's going to be the key out there tonight?
Yeah, it probably is going to be a little bit of a different roster, different because of most likely Tyrese is going to play. But with that being said, they're a team that they play the right way. They're pretty fast. They lead the league in a lot of offensive categories. And I think that we have to be alert. We want to defend the paint. We're going to defend the 3-point line. They move the ball well. So good offensive team. Obviously, like you said, they beat us at our plays. We have to clean up some things, and we'll just learn from it. And I think we'll be ready tonight, especially coming from the Miami game. So
Right.
I think it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be a good game with two very good teams.
Kings Associate Head Coach Jordi Fernandez joining us here on the Drive Guys, Sactown Sports, 1140. Jordy, we had the All-Star reserves named yesterday. Our boys didn't make it, man. What is the league missing? What are the coaches missing when it comes to Domas and Fox and them not being in the All-Star game this
year? They were not named by other people All-Stars, but I think it's pretty obvious that they are. If you look at the roster, you look at their numbers, it is what it is. You can control it, and that should be just another reason why we go out there and we do the job that we do as a group led by these two guys. And that's the only way you can take it is, prove everybody wrong. And I know our guys do it. They do it consistently every night, and that has to be our goal. And the rest of us will help them out to make sure that everybody knows. So, like you said, probably not right. But again, like obviously those are opinions. That's how the system works. We all have different opinions, and ours is that those guys are all-stars. So it's not going to change our minds.
All right, Jordi Fernandez joining us here on the Drive Guys. Jordi, obviously we talk a lot about defense with this team and the strides, the improvements we're trying to make. What do you want to see defensively from the guys? Is it one or two things when we watch tonight's game and games going forward that fans should be looking for defensively from this team?
Yeah, I think our physicality, the way we create contact on the defensive end, nobody should go inside our 3-point line and go untouched. I think contact is extremely important with our ability to take charges and protect the rim, verticalities. Anything that goes inside a 3-point line should be very physical, and I think that's how we take steps forward. Like you said, from the day that we came here, we've improved, but we still have bigger goals for our guys defensively. We want to get to that top 10 defensive team. It doesn't happen overnight, but I think our guys, number one, they're working every single day and they care. So only thing you can do from there is keep helping them, hold them accountable, and demand. So I think we're on the right path.
You've been a part of, a number of different organizations. Tell me about this group that we have here, because, I'm around you guys. And one thing that I noticed, it seems like there's a lot of camaraderie. Everybody seems to get along, a family kind of atmosphere. How would you, compare, I guess, this group, whether it's the coaches, the players, to some of the previous spots you've been?
I think we have a great thing going, and it starts with a human group, like you just said. Great group of coaches, also with the front office organization, the players, and I think that all comes from Mike Brown. The ability to bring everybody together and build relationships. I think that we all have to be connected. It's not just the players on the court, but it's the rest of us. We all have to have the relationship and build it and care about it. And I think since day one, we've done it, we've worked on it, and that's the result. You do a lot of things, some dinners on the road, especially when it's like long road trips, and I think that's it comes from the organization allowing us to do that, from the front office, from ownership, from the coach, from the players, and I think that that translates to winning and translates to do things the right way and to care about people, because at the end of the day, those guys are pro athletes, but they're people, and they have also, sometimes you're on the road and you miss your friends, your family, and there's always struggles and sacrifices. And I think that at the end of the day, like you said, when you have that connectivity and you're you're together and you get to know each other, I think that really makes a difference. And I think that's why we have a great group here.
All right, Kings Associate Head Coach Jordi Fernandez joining the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports 1140. Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Jordy. Thank you, Drapes. Thank you for listening. Have a great weekend. Stick around. Game night is next on Sactown Sports.
The NFC champion San Francisco 49ers will get their chance at revenge when they face the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 58.
Jimmy going to throw a deep shot into double coverage. It's intercepted by Fuller, and that will be it. The Kansas City Chiefs will win their first Super Bowl.
Reed versus Shanahan. Purdy versus Mahomes. The Chiefs versus the 49ers. It's Super Bowl 58, Sunday, February 11th.
And it's on your home for the National Football League, Sactown Sports.
Honeylicious taste, so a cold won't slow you down.
Hi, this is Henry Turner, a.k.a. the High Flyer. I've done a lot of amazing things on the basketball floor, but now it's your turn to be amazing. For more than 55 years, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento has helped out the youth beat many odds. Too many littles, especially boys, are still waiting for volunteers, Big Brothers. Volunteers to spend at least 4 to 6 hours a month with local youth who needs guidance and support. So donate your time to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of the greater Sacramento area. Get involved. It's easy as a layup. Call 916-646-9300.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
It was a comeback for the ages Sunday in Santa Clara.
Going to take a deep shot to Brandon Ayuk. It's the fly.
Oh, he caught it!
Caught! Ayuk caught it out of the air.
The 49ers saved their best for last and now have earned a trip to Las Vegas to face the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's over! The Niners are going to Vegas!
Join us for Super Bowl 58, Sunday, February 11th, on your home of the NFL, Sactown Sports. KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
It's time for game night, getting you ready for Sacramento Kings basketball.
He's got the bucket.
Game night is presented by Power Business Technology, your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
And welcome into game night. Jason Ross filling in today for Scott Marsh, the high flyer, Henry Turner here in studio.
Let's say this for the jet setting Scott Marsh.
I don't know if he would. I know they were at Santa Barbara last night. I don't know if he's made his way to Cal Poly yet or not, but
hey, he got frequent flyer miles.
Those are good. That's a good spot to be down there in that part of the state.
He is on the Jets. I ain't mad at him though.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, exactly. Get that in. Aggies got the win yesterday. They'll be back in action. Let's hope the Kings can get a win today. You and I will have the pregame show coming up in an hour, and then of course Kings and Pacers. So lots for us to cover today. First off, before we get to basketball, tough news. I'm bummed about Carl Weathers.
I am too. And I was looking at it, I'm like, what did he pass up? Did they ever say?
I didn't see.
I mean, what was it? Was he dealing with ailments? Was his health bad or whatever? But come on, man. I mean, I don't know about where you stayed, but where I stayed, everybody wanted to be Apollo Creed.
Yes. And he was in a lot. I mean, he was in a lot of them. Obviously, a former NFL player with the Raiders. But Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. Action Jackson.
Yeah, but what was the one? Not Rambo. What am I thinking of? Predator. Thank you, Jay. Yeah.
I mean, every time I see him, I hear the song in my head. Living in America.
Oh, man.
Yeah, everybody wants to be Apollo Creed.
Absolutely.
Man.
So
where's my Stars and Stripes shorts at? I'm gonna bring it back.
They didn't have to be short shorts.
No, they had the Stars and Stripes on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we do have lots to cover though regarding the NBA, regarding the Sacramento Kings. I know a lot of people around these parts, and I understand why, Henry. They're agitated by the coaches that did not select a member of the Sacramento Kings.
I am too.
Fox or Sabonis.
You know what, Jay? We look at things totally different because we do understand both sides of it, the business side and then the player side. We understand all of that. But I'll tell you what, I was prepared. I was honestly prepared to say if the Kings got one or the other, whether it was De'Aaron or whether it was Sabonis, if they would have got one or the other, I was going to be upset, but I was going to swallow it.
Yeah.
And say, okay, I understand. At least we got one. And honestly, I thought it was a travesty that both of them didn't go if you look at the numbers, but I would at least coincided and said, okay, we got one. But to keep both of these guys off the all-star list, and you got some dudes on there that's seriously questionable if you start talking about numbers only. Now, if you start talking about overall what they did in their career and what they mean to the NBA and who they mean to all the the big money guys out there, it's different. But if you're talking about just their numbers to boot, a couple of guys got snubbed.
Yeah, and look, I think a couple things have happened. At least my best guess on this. Last year for the Kings to get to, I think the first and foremost that we have to remember, they technically got one in Sabonis, and then Fox was added on. Now, he still was an all-star. That doesn't deflect from that. So on the first time through, they got one. I was looking at this, Henry. There were 7 guys in the West that were on the all-star team last year that aren't this year.
Right.
It's a big change, and part of it is you've got Kevin Durant now in the West. So he's an all-star. He takes up a spot.
Kyrie,
who
didn't make it,
who has been an all-star many times. James Harden, who could have but didn't, was also, I think, considered a snub. You have the one that changed conferences that was a Western Conference all-stars, Dame.
Okay.
So Fox and Sabonis didn't make it from a year ago. 2 guys that were on the 2 seed a year ago, Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ja Morant, didn't make it this year. Lauri Markkanen made it last year. Zion was voted in. I mean, the West, I think, is far more difficult. You also have legends of the game, LeBron, Steph, and KD in the West.
That's the problem.
That are tough to take out.
That's the problem right there. That's why I said it's,
what they have done totality-wise in their careers, and especially when you start bringing in the second-tier guys. Okay, you understand Luka up and coming.
Yeah.
I'm with that. Same thing with Alexander.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. He deserves it. All right. But when LeBron, it's LeBron. Okay.
Yeah.
He gonna be there and until he in the concrete. Okay. But when you start talking about some of these other guys who numbers aren't nowhere close, but it's just because of who they are, it kind of like puts it to the slant.
Yeah. So what do Fox and Sabonis have to do to be and I'm going to take one player, for example. He's having a really good year and the team's playing well as Paul George.
Right.
It's his 9th. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. He does deserve it. But I think he's to the point, Kawhi Leonard, those guys have established themselves like, well, you can't keep them off if they're having a good year. Well, Fox and Sabonis are having good years, really, statistically. The team is playing well, but they haven't gotten to that mode like, oh, you can't. I think that's a little bit why Steph made it. Steph's not having nearly the greatest year. They have a far worse record.
Right.
And the logic would be, well, you can't keep Steph off the team. Well, why?
Exactly.
Why?
Exactly. I mean, I feel the exact same way. I mean, and really, let's throw this one out there. Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
The Lakers are terrible.
Yeah. He's having a good year. He is, but they don't have the same kind of record.
His numbers are nowhere where Sabonis's are, and he's on the All-Star team. And plus, okay, LB is there, but you look at it, the Lakers have 2.
Yeah.
The Lakers have 2, and look what their record is.
Right, and I think the balance of it that makes the most sense to me is the East. If you want to look at like, okay, how did everybody get there? The top 8 teams have at least one player.
Right.
The biggest to me in the East, I think, is Trae Young, but the argument would be he's outside the top 8. So at least one, some teams have 2. In the West, by winning percentage, there are 6 players with a worse winning percentage than the Kings that made it.
Right.
So basically half the roster.
Bro, it's almost like everything that they have said adds up to you making the All-Star team just got thrown out this year. Because how many times, even when De'Aaron was first starting to make that transition, remember, he was just starting to play good basketball, and we were like, why isn't De'Aaron Fox's name up in the All-Star talk? Well, it's because the team is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
same with DeMarcus would get that too.
Exactly. The team's bad. Well, the Lakers ain't lit a torch under anybody for right now.
Yeah.
It's a couple of guys. It's like, come on, man. I mean, the Karl Anthony Towns thing, I could pretty much ride with Cat.
Yeah, and that's even a debate too for their own team. I mean, they took Ant, and could Gobert have made it? I think there were about 10 guys in the West that could have made it that didn't.
Right. But it's some other guys that could have made it instead of a couple of those who are on there just because of what they have done prior.
Yeah. Any thought? I mean, look, if they to adding 3 more, a 15 like a normal every night roster. Now we'd still be debating 16, 17, and 18 probably, but why are we limited to 12, or does that even really matter?
Jason, I mean, I try to look at it on both sides because we're upset because our guys didn't make it. And I'm pretty sure last year when we had 2, I'm pretty sure somewhere else, they were crying about, well, he doesn't deserve it. And you know what? We need 15 because our guy got to get in. I understand that.
Yeah.
You have to have a cutoff somewhere. 12, 15, somebody's going to get left off.
Yeah. And, I was framed the way I said it. There are 6 players that are on the West that are below the Kings winning percentage-wise. Factually, that's true. But if I'm New Orleans, they're 27-21. The Kings are 27-19. They're also very highly rated. They don't have an all-star.
Right.
I mean, there are teams that are left out here, and Denver is the reigning champs. They've got 1. They can't have 2. OKC's up there. They've got. I mean, maybe there's not a second All-Star, but it's like you're rewarding some teams. You're not. There's just an inconsistency.
And then I even heard talks like this. Well, the reason why Sabonis didn't make the All-Star team because he don't have an All-Star type game. What type of slap in the face is that?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a flashy above the rim type.
Okay.
No, never mind that.
Jokic doesn't either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's the least.
Yeah.
I mean, and really, if you want to keep it 100, Luka ain't the most flashiest dude either.
His highlight would be shooting from 40, and that's fine.
Exactly.
Sabonis can shoot it. I mean, I don't think he's gonna make it.
He's not above the rim, flashy, high octane guy.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, stop making excuses for saying why this dude don't belong there when his numbers has truly set the standard to what needs to be there.
Yeah, I mean, and as much as we are griping about Fox and Sabonis, but Gobert, James Harden, Jamal Murray, any Pelican, I don't know that they clearly have a choice there.
I mean, B.I., Brandon Ingram, he's been an all-star before.
Markkanen, Şengün, Victor Wembanyama. They got the worst record, but I mean, and his time is coming.
True. I think I'm more upset about Sabonis than I am De'Aaron.
Yeah.
The reason why I will swallow the De'Aaron Fox situation is because it's a ton of guards.
Mm-hmm.
It's a ton of guards, and you can pick it apart any way you want to. Okay, De'Aaron's number is better than his, but he's a little bit better than De'Aaron. This guy. I mean, you can pick it apart all you want to. In Sabonis's case, it's flat out.
Yeah.
It is flat out. None of those big guys' numbers, besides the one that's starting, is even close to what Sabonis is doing.
Yeah, and part of it, financially, Sabonis didn't hit a bonus there, which everybody would like. The one thing they can still chase, and I think De'Aaron even said this earlier this week when he said, I really don't care if I'm an all-star, which, maybe part of me believes, but also they're still nice in being recognized and acknowledged. What they can still chase is being the rare player that doesn't make an all-star team and gets all NBA. Which has happened and does happen. It almost kind of admits that the coaches were wrong.
Okay, at the end of the day, Jay, yes. I mean, De'Aaron's going to say the right thing. I don't care about being an all-star. Yeah, he does. Because you know what? When you're an all-star, that lets everybody in the country know that you are in that elite rare air. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to make the all-star team. All right? Now, when you don't, okay, you're not going to cry about it.
Right.
It's a situation where, okay, well, you know what? I got to work a little bit harder.
Yeah.
And De'Aaron knows that he's had some clunkers. Now, if De'Aaron would have came out and played the exact same way he played at the beginning of the year where he was averaging 30 points, it wouldn't even be a question.
Right.
He would be right in there. So he knows he has some things he has to work on, and that's fine.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, everybody wants to be on that all-star team.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a fun weekend. If anything, now on the positive side, if they don't go, they get back home, relax, chill, get off their feet, and make the push for the second half.
You know what? It's always that silver lining.
Yeah.
And then that was another thing I heard. People talk about, matter of fact, it might have been you and Dave. I was listening to this morning saying, it might be a good thing, that they're not on the all-star team because they can get rest and, get treatment, all of that. That's a bunch of hogwash. Because you know what? Last year, when they made it, there's no way we would have said, no, Sabonis and De'Aaron, y'all ain't going. Y'all can stay here, man, and get a little rest.
Right.
We was hyped.
No, there's a sense of pride
because
when you
they
see
made
Sacramento
it.
across there, and there are guys, and you want the reward.
Exactly. So let's keep it 100. It ain't no consolation saying, I think it might be better. No, it's not better, but you just got to deal with what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Since you didn't make it, now this is what you need to do.
Now you deal with the circumstances.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not like if you could pick and choose. Yeah, I made the all-star team, but I don't think I'm going to go. No, it's not like that.
Well, this is game night. Jason Ross in for Scott Marsh, the high flyer. Henry Turner always here with us. Want to tell you we're brought to you by Power Business Technology. Experience how the power of family can help your business office equipment needs today. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or go to powercopiers.com. All right, tonight the Kings will be in Indiana. The road trip continues. They're coming off a loss to Miami, but things have been pretty good for the Kings. It's a rematch with the Pacers, and wow, storylines all over the place with that. Henry and I will discuss that next here on Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports is hitting the road on our Jiffy Lube road trip. Join Stiles and Watkins live from Radio Row in Las Vegas next Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 2 as they get you ready for the big game.
Plus, we have additional coverage on all our shows from Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross and the Drive Guys.
It's Stiles and Watkins live from Vegas, all part of our Jiffy Lube road trip next week on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Kevin Lewis with National Garage Door, reminding you that in Sacramento, National Garage Door is the king of garage doors. We service, sell, and install garage doors and openers. Call us today for your basketball special. A new 16x7 Rainer garage door with insulation and a belt drive opener for only $24.49 installed. Give us a call today, 916-638-4554.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper, also known as Drapes, here for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. That's where I got my gorgeous black-on-black EQS SUV. I'll be honest, it's the most stunning car I've ever owned, and let me tell you why I love it. First of all, the minute you step inside, you feel like you're driving a luxury vehicle. Plus, I love the onboard navigation system, and I tell you what, my kids just love the front seat and rear seat heating option. You know how it is up here in Northern California. You got to have that during the winter. And of course, during the summer, you got to have seat cooling. Well, my Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV has that as well. Go see my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. They believe, guys, that when you buy the world's finest car, it should be an experience you'll never forget. It's the greatest car shopping experience I've ever had. They were tremendous. The ease of buying, they just made it super simple. It's just 30 minutes from Sacramento, right off of I-5. And of course, you can always go online at mbofstockton.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-385-9302 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-385-9302. That's 800-385-9302. What do you have to lose? Call 800-385-9302. Again, 800-385-9302.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
For today's show and tell, I present my phone. It's made with glass and various metals I can't pronounce. It's powered by Xfinity Mobile, so my family saves big. Take a handout.
Colin, what are these?
I'm quizzing the class on the material.
Switch to Xfinity Mobile and save hundreds a year with the best price for 2 lines of unlimited. Just $30 a line a month. Visit XfinityMobile.com to learn more. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Unlimited Intro Service and Xfinity Internet required. Taxes and fees extra. Reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of usage. Data thresholds may vary.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Back here on game night, Jason Ross in for Scott Marsh. We got the hot flyer and returner here, as it's the Kings and the Pacers. Of course, game night, we're brought to you by Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Kings and Pacers again. I mean, we just saw them a few weeks ago. A little different circumstances that night. TJ McConnell was running all over Golden One Center. He controlled that entire game.
He gave us the business, Jason.
He did. And now, like last night, the DNP. They got to play that guy. I mean, I know Tyrese is a superstar, but like,
you know what?
TJ can play.
Hey, Reese is the superstar, man. But here's the crazy thing. It wasn't that long ago to where the coach would forget how this young man played against us. I mean, I wouldn't even be mad if the coach was like, hey, Reese, we're going to start out with this dude, see what he does. And if he don't get it done, we're coming to you. Because, man, he had a flawless game.
He did. I mean, like, there's so many good players in the league, but if anybody saw that game, was at the game, watched the game, I don't know any other way to say it, Henry, but he controlled it. Like, did he dominate? No, but it was like his fingerprints were all over that game.
He looked like Steve Nash that night.
Perfect example.
He looked like Steve Nash.
He was running the show.
He got to the basket whenever he wanted. He got to the middle of the paint. He sprayed out for threes. I even think he got a couple of offensive rebounds. And I'm like, man, what is this dude doing?
Yeah.
I mean, he really disrupted everything the Kings had going on.
His start and stop. Sometimes, like Nash would do this, and he did too, like where he's going kind of with a purpose on the dribble, maybe even through the key, maybe even under. You're like, you're not going to do anything with that. Boom, quick reverse. Like,
yes,
you just don't even see it coming.
He did it 3 times, Jason, to where he dribbled up under the basket and then flipped it up with a reverse real quick because you thought he was going to dribble all the way out the other side. And I'm like, okay, I'll fall for the banana in the tailpipe trick once.
Yeah, not twice or 3 times.
You're not going to get me 3 times now. Come on.
He did. So tonight we got to talk about injuries, and tonight's injury report is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm, providing justice for you since 1975. If you're injured, call the Arnold Law Firm at 916-777. That's 7777. So Tyrese is questionable.
Okay.
We've got Benedict Mathurin is playing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Jalen Smith is questionable, but Miles Turner is out for tonight's game.
Okay.
So there you go. On their side of the Kings, we know about Sasha being being in that situation. He's actually questionable. So, it'll be interesting to see with the Pacers group. They played a really intense, emotional game yesterday. Henry, this is another game the Kings are playing a team on the second night of a back-to-back.
I mean, they're
capitalized.
Their road trip couldn't get any better.
Yeah, it's been favorable, at least that part.
Definitely. And, Jason, let's do it like this because we have so many fans and so many people that follow this team, and it seems like they're kind of down on this basketball team. Let's keep this in perspective. The Kings are a good basketball team. They're not a great team. And it seems like our fans are expecting great things from a basketball team that's just good.
Yeah.
Last year, we played very, very good. We didn't make no changes. We brought in a couple of different tweaks, but the team is still the same. The team is playing even better than what they played last year. But still, they're a good basketball team. Don't expect greatness out of just a good team. We're playing good basketball.
Yeah. So can this squad, as constructed, be great?
No.
Okay.
No.
They don't have enough.
No. They're a good basketball team.
Okay.
They don't have enough to be great yet.
Yeah, and you know what made me think? I know we talked a lot the other night when, which game was it? Memphis. They won, but it was kind of one of those like, come on, guys. Memphis was down 11 players.
Right.
Other guys came in, and we knew they would compete. We knew they'd be tough. Kings won. JaVale McGee said post-game, look, he's been a championship team. Great teams, put those teams away. Win that game with ease, rest your starters. Good teams find a way to win, which the Kings did. And then last night, I'm thinking that same analogy, and I think of Boston as a great team.
Right.
And they played the Lakers at home. No AD, no LeBron. That's a win. It wasn't. And they lost. I go, well, I still put Boston in that category. So I don't know if it's one, statement fits all, but it just, I'm trying to find the difference, I guess, between those.
And I'm with you. Boston had a clunker.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if they went back-to-back and played the very next night, it wouldn't happen that way.
Yeah, I understand.
Great basketball teams find a way to destroy their opponent when they're coming in as a lesser. The Kings are a good basketball team. And, and I'm happy with what the Kings are doing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the long picture here. They're trying to get to be great, but this basketball team that we're looking at, that we have, is good.
Yeah.
It's good. But don't get upset. Don't get down on if we don't pull off great type situations.
Yeah. And I think the clunker is a good analogy, whereas if the Kings did this once this year or twice, that does happen. I mean, you can't avoid that in the league. But when we've seen the high volume of the either clunkers or blown leads or large deficit losses, it's not once or twice with this squad.
And see, that's what I'm saying. That's the difference, Jason, between a good basketball team and a great basketball team. The Kings are good, but the Kings are guilty of letting teams that have come in that have been undermanned get them down 20.
Yeah.
Great basketball teams don't do that.
Yeah.
See, that's the difference.
Yeah.
They're all little small differences.
And I would say they're good too, but probably playing better over their last 10. Would you agree with that?
Yes, they're playing good basketball.
Yeah.
I'm with that. And, because it seems like to me, just the sentiment of talking to people and running into, fans or whatever, they look at last year and they were like, yes, nice. I like what they did. And then they're looking at this year going, I don't know. I'm like, wait a minute. They're playing better.
Yeah.
than what they played last year. So what you mean you don't know?
Yeah, and part of this too is the West is better. The top of the West, and that's the thing. I think maybe going back maybe 2 to 3 years where maybe the Kings would just miss out or didn't quite make the play-in, and people would go, the West is too tough. I thought that wasn't really fair because the Kings were 6, 7, 8, 10 games below 500 and had a chance. This year, they have a better record and they're fifth. They were third last year.
Right.
And they're fifth with a little bit of a distance from the top four. So there's just more teams that are playing well. And the Kings, statistically have been better in some areas. Offensively, maybe not. But for the expectations, Henry, I think for Kings fans, it's really at the playoff level. So should it matter if they finish second to seventh to sixth as long as they're in the postseason?
It shouldn't.
Right.
As long as they're in the postseason.
Because that's the true measurement.
But you know what, though? I think our fans, their expectation is 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
55 wins or something.
And I'm sorry. This year and almost every other year, that 1, 2, 3 spot is for teams that's doing something great.
Yeah.
Good teams are in the 4, 5, and 6 spot.
Sure. And that's where they are now. And they've been kind of bouncing around between those spots. And if they play better in the second half, some things happen. We also know the trade deadline is 6 days away.
Wow.
So, who knows? Something big, something small, maybe nothing. I mean, at this point, I feel like it's very quiet on the trade front.
I look at this team, Jason, and I honestly see it as this. Let's say, for example, we can play armchair GM, and where we've been missing, and we've been missing in the Harrison Barnes spot, and we've been missing at the Kevin Huerter spot.
Correct.
Our bench is what it is. We can roll with it however it is. We can stay with our bench and be just fine. The problem has been at the 2 spot and at the 4 spot. But let's say if we can get those guys back to their average, I still think this basketball team is a 4, 5, 6 seed.
Yeah.
I still don't see them being at that top 3. That top 3, you had to play some very good basketball, and you didn't have clunkers.
Right.
And if you did, you only had 1, maybe 2. The Kings had a lot of clunkers this year.
Yeah. And in the first half.
Yeah, in the first half, exactly.
Yeah. So we're still not even to the All-Star break, though. That's coming up. Coming up for us, more to discuss about tonight's game, more around the league as well. And want to remind you that more than 100 youth from our community need a mentor, and you can help. Big brothers, big sisters, one-to-one mentoring program matches adult volunteers and children based on personal interests, life experiences, and geographic proximity. Now, the program serves children ages 7 through 18 who are being raised by single parents, grandparents, or foster parents in Sacramento, Yolo, and South Placer counties. Call 916-646-9300 or visit bbbs-sac.org to learn about being a volunteer mentor. For just a few hours a month, you can impact the life of a child. So stand with us. Become a big brother or big sister. All right, Henry and I will take a break. We got more to get to here as we continue with Game Night on Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
When the unexpected happens, trust AutoAccident.com. Loyalty and compassion set them apart. They're with you every step of the way. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Titleist is introducing the next generation of AVX golf balls. It's for players looking for low-flying, low-spinning golf balls with a very soft feel and excellent greenside control. Re-engineered from core to cover with exceptional distance and extraordinary feel, the new AVX is even better. It's available in white and high optic yellow. Titleist also is introducing the new Tour Soft golf balls. A new larger core increases distance off the tee while providing an incredible soft feel on every shot. Golfers who tee up Tour Soft are looking for soft feel and performance throughout the bag. Play it in white, high optic yellow, or green. True Feel is the softest Titleist ball, offering penetrating ball flight and distance from a unique spherically tiled dimple design. It's for players who prioritize soft feel and trust the quality and consistency of the Titleist brand. Another reason why Titleist is the #1 ball in golf. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense, can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
It's a mystery where Old Spice finds its amazing scents like Himalayan sea salt, but I'm thrilled they have, because no other body wash exfoliates and moisturizes 24/7 like Old Spice Gentleman's Himalayan sea salt body wash. Now, if only there was a mountain range separating the Indian subcontinent from the Tibetan plateau where I could hide my Old Spice and keep my family from stealing it, my impossibly smooth skin will finally be safe.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
And we are brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Check out their full line of luxury vehicles at mbofstockton.com. Jason Ross, the high flyer, Henry Turner. We're going to be joined by the G-Man at the top of the hour for Kings Live pregame. Kings and Pacers tonight in Indiana. Domantas Sabonis has already made that return, but still, every time. Anytime you played anywhere and you go back, it's special.
Jason, anytime you step on the floor,
yeah,
I'm giving it to you.
Yeah, for sure.
That's your mindset. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's the first one that's all. We just saw Dame do it this week. It'll be, I don't know if it's easier, but he'll do it another time and another time. But the first one is always really special.
Of course, because the first one stings. Mm-hmm. I mean, people don't understand how we get into, a remote mode. We walk in the exact same door. We park in the exact same parking spot. We go through the exact same door to get to the locker room. And then all of a sudden, when you come back to that building, you're not walking in that door. Mm-hmm. You're not even going into that locker room. I know for a long time, I didn't even know what the visitors' locker room even looked like.
Yeah, yeah.
But all of a sudden now, you're sitting in that seat land like, ooh, this is totally different here.
Yeah, like, this is weird. I see all the same people I know.
The same people, but it's weird.
But
exactly.
Different role. Yeah. If we look at tonight's points in the paint, brought to you by RT Painting, a reliable and trusted painter in the Sacramento market since 1998. Not sure how this is going to work with the Pacers tonight without Miles Turner. Good rim protector. He can also stretch the floor a little bit. It looks like he is going to be out. That doesn't just mean, hey, Sabonis go on the paint, but maybe some opportunities for him or Fox or others to get in there and do some damage.
You know what, Jason, we talk about the difference between good and great teams. I think, if the Kings are trying to make that next step, you're missing a big piece down low. Well, let's see if we can get something established down low. Because certain nights, Sabonis has it going. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. He has his way. And if tonight's going to be one of those nights, look, we're going to always have the three-point shot. The three-point shot is always there. Go inside and see what Sabonis can do. See if Harrison Barnes can start something down a little bit low. Get him going. See if we can get Keegan Murray going to the basket. See if you can dominate the basket. If you can dominate the basket early on, that three-point shot is going to be there whenever you need it.
Yeah. The other thing that's going to be different about tonight's matchup with the Pacers, Pascal Siakam. The Pacers had just traded for him before the Kings played him and wasn't available. Now he's there.
Yeah.
And he's played a few games. It's not his first game there or his second game, so he's getting a little bit more comfortable.
That's another different wrinkle because the first time we played them, they played a good basketball game, and they had a lot of subs to come off. The guys came off the bench, and
I like those young guys too.
They played a very good game, Jason. But now you have you have another Avenger on your team to where you can give this dude the ball and he can carry you. So they didn't have that last time. So that should definitely be, a mindset the Kings are going to have.
Yeah, Siakam's a nice player. I think that's a good fit for them. And, how true the rumors were about him and the Kings. It just I like that when the game in a regular season has storylines. Obviously, Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield, former King, Sabonis, former Pacer. But there was talk, Henry, about the Kings in hot pursuit for Siakam, and he goes to the Pacers.
Right. And, and it was talk that, okay, he elected and said he didn't want to come to Sacramento.
Yeah, wouldn't resign here.
Yeah, he wouldn't resign here. So that should be a slap in the face. That would be a little motivation. I mean, I'm like you, be Michael Jordan. Look for anything to give you some motivation. Be petty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Carry it with you.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, another storyline, and I keep throwing it out there. TJ, you had a very nice game against us, but no, not this time, buddy.
Yeah.
We know, know, the little slick stuff that you did to us early on ain't happening this time, buddy. Ain't happening. So change it up.
And, we said earlier, Henry, about this road trip, how really it's laid out nicely for the Kings with the opposing teams playing the second night of a back-to-back on the majority of this. I think they walked into a tough one with Miami. We knew they were going to get a great punch, and I thought the Kings handled it, but just didn't have enough. They had players only meeting, a prideful organization with guys really committed. That they kind of walked into a tough one the other day.
You know what, Jay? Did we expect this team to go 7-0 on this trip?
No.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, really, do we expect them to go 5-2?
That'd be a nice one if they could.
It would be nice. But we will accept on the road 4-3.
So they got to get another one.
They have to get another one.
Yeah. So you got tonight and then back-to-back. So they play tomorrow. That's the only time it's been bunched up on this trip, and then they got a day off before Cleveland. So, if things went well the rest of this trip, they could be a season high over 500 and coming home with a ton of momentum. But overall, I do like the way they've played over the last 5 to 10 games or so.
They play good basketball. That's what I will not, discount that. The Kings have been playing good basketball. They are who they are. Now, can they play a little bit better and, tweak some things and get some guys going? Yeah, but they've been playing nice.
Yeah. As far as the improvement with the roster as constructed, what would you like to see, up to the All-Star break? And then certainly we always know once you get to the All-Star break, that last 25 to 28 games, you want to be buttoned up.
Well, you know what, Jason? I said it earlier on. The Kings have been playing good basketball. The only problem is the inconsistency with Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter.
Yeah.
You get both of those guys to give you consistency, and I'm not saying giving you 30 and 20 points a night, but I'll tell you what, if you can get 15 for each from both of those guys in a night, you're pretty good.
Yeah, and they've been better lately. The one who's been struggling, I would say it's not a big stretch, maybe 4 games or so, has been Malik Monk.
Right.
Yeah.
And, I was wondering about that. I'm like, okay, Malik hasn't been Malik-ish, but have they really needed him to be?
No, because the starting 5 has been better.
There it is there. It's not one of those situations to where, all right, Malik, come in and you go off and we need you X amount of minutes. Well, the starters have been playing pretty good, and they've been playing the bulk of the minutes. That's why Malik minutes have been down and his productivity has been down.
On the starters part of this, Henry, we talked at the start of the show about the snub for Fox and for Sabonis. They can say publicly that they don't care or not. I mean, I don't know. I'm not judging that part, but if that motivates them, I love it. I hope that does.
Be petty.
Yeah.
Be petty.
Yeah. I mean, Sabonis already got stuff for tonight anyway with the Pacers.
And Jason, no one has to know.
Yeah.
Really, because that's one good thing about if you really want to be petty, nobody has to know what your motivation is. The motivation just has to be there.
Yeah. Like the thing that just jumped out at all of us is when Barnes goes for 3 straight games of 20 plus, 39 and a 33, I think it was, and a 20. Like if Fox went for 40 tonight, he's motivated. Well, Fox has scored 40 like 5 times this year.
Right.
If Sabonis had a triple-double, well, he does that a lot.
He walks
every other game.
Right.
So I don't know that they could put up some numbers that it would be hard to tell whether or not it was extra motivation because they're that good.
That's true too, Jason, but I'll tell you what, it's how you do it.
That's it. Probably more the style of it.
It's how you do it. Because think about it. We know when Fox is motivated.
Yeah.
You see fourth quarter Fox, he step on that accelerator. Oh, yeah. He's motivated.
Yeah.
He goes up and he goes to that rim and he dunks the ball hard. Oh, yeah. He's motivated. And when Sabonis comes out and he's just bullying his way all the way to the basket, well, you could tell when there's a little extra motivation there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, would have been his fourth All-Star appearance, would have been the second for Fox. Now there's still a possibility later on injury replacements, but at this point they're not named All-Stars, and we'll see what they do going forward starting tonight with the Pacers.
Yes, sir. You know what? At this particular point, Jason, you can't sit there and you can't cry about it. You can't moan and groan. What you can do is look towards the future and say, okay, fellas, next task at hand.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's make this dash to All-Star break. And then, get a little rest, get a little treatment, whatever they do. Because you know what? Second half will come up real quick.
Yeah. And I mean, again, back to does it really matter? Grand scheme of things. I guess it's up to your own opinion. I just know when I first started this, your teammate, we talked about him and he was at the arena not long ago, Mitch Richmond. I mean, there was such a sense of pride. We knew he was likely going to be an All-Star. The team didn't always have a great record. But when he won the All-Star game MVP, I'm like, that's our guy.
That's our guy.
This team's not going to win a championship, but Mitch Richmond just brought home an All-Star game MVP.
Right.
How cool is that?
Right. You know what? When Bogey got the MVP for the
Rising Stars.
Yeah. That's our guy.
Asia winning a 3-point contest.
That's our guy. Like I said, it's always a good thing when you get to go and perform on the very highest level. So yes, everybody in the NBA wants to be an all-star.
Yeah.
But if you don't get selected, it's not going to make or break you because you have other things you have to look at. But if you look at, do I want to be one or not? Yes, because that gives you motivation, Jason, to be better.
Yeah. And even, you think of Kevin Huerter didn't have a good 3-point contest last year. Okay.
Ooh.
Gerald Wallace didn't win the dunk contest.
Right.
He was there. Huerter was there.
Hey.
Buddy Hield won it, but he was there. I mean, that's the kind of part that's cool.
Let me tell you, was there. And then if you felt like you underperformed, I'm going to be better this year.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to show them. All of that plays into who we are as athletes.
Yeah.
You always want to be better.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what kind of motivating factors are for tonight. We got another segment coming up of Game Night. We're brought to you by National Garage Door. Call today for your basketball special, 916-638-4554. We'll go around the league. More talk on Kings and Pacers as Game Night continues here on Sactown Sports.
Domantas Sabonis faces his former team as the Kings are in Indiana.
Drives inside, reaches, comes up short. Sabonis with a rebound for a triple-double.
It's the Kings and Pacers Friday at 4:30 on your home for Sacramento Kings basketball, Sactown Sports. The NFC champion San Francisco 49ers will get their chance at revenge when they face the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 58.
Jimmy going to throw a deep shot into double coverage. It's intercepted by Fuller, and that will be it. The Kansas City Chiefs will win their first Super Bowl.
Reed versus Shanahan. Purdy versus Mahomes. The Chiefs versus the 49ers. It's Super Bowl 58, Sunday, February 11th.
And it's on your home for the National Football League, Sactown Sports.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Sactown Sports is hitting the road on our Jiffy Lube road trip. Join Stiles and Watkins live from Radio Row in Las Vegas next Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 2 as they get you ready for the big game.
Plus, we have additional coverage on all our shows from Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross and the Drive Guys.
It's Stiles and Watkins live from Vegas, all part of our Jiffy Lube road trip next week on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure that you'll get your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
And Jackson Hewitt also guarantees the accuracy of your return for life. So don't just sit there. For your biggest refund guaranteed, Walk into a Jackson Hewitt today and dance out Jackson Hewitt, yeah!
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ad paid for by America First Tax Group. Attention, if you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The IRS does not joke around and will not stop their collection efforts. If you're tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments and would like to get a fresh start, we can help. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle tax problems for those who owe more than $10,000. We can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes significantly. Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get the help you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you, but you must call 800-257-0663 today to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free and the help is real. Call 800-257-0663. That's 800-257-0663. Again, 800-257-0663.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Seeing some quotes coming out here from head coach Mike Brown. I can't do a Mike Brown impersonation, but this was from his pregame talk, Henry. So you can just picture this, everybody out there. You've heard Mike Brown talk. We might be the only top 6 team in both conferences to not have one all-star, and I ain't that good of a frickin' coach. I ain't got no magic dust to put on these guys. I got frickin' players. Yeah, well, they are. Factually, they are the only top 6, well, actually top 5 team, if we want to go as high as where they are 5. But he's going to back his guys. You know, he did that last year. He's like, we got all-stars. We got 2 all-stars. He kept putting that into existence. They basically got one. They got Fox there, and the second one as an injury replacement. Then he kept saying, we got 2 all-NBA guys. At the end, they got all-NBA. And that's actually contractually in future contract years, you can get more money. So, I mean, there's a bigger prize in getting that. And if they have a better second half of the season, that obviously would result in more wins too.
And you know what? And I'm with all of that, Jason, you know, but at the end of the day, we have 2 all-star guys. I mean, you know, you can call it what you want and feel however you want, but I'm telling you what.
I'm glad they're Kings.
Hey, I'll take De'Aaron Fox over a whole bunch of guys any day, and Sabonis the exact same way. Yep. So if you had to pick a basketball team, I'll roll with those 2 guys.
Yeah. Jason, you didn't even pick my favorite of the Mike Brown quotes, which is when he was asked about if the NBA should consider changes to the All-Star selection process. His response was, quote, yeah, they should just let me vote. That's it. Just one vote. I'll get it right.
Wow. I wonder who we know he would put his 2 guys on. The thing with that is always, so look, Henry, we can make easy cases for Fox and Sabonis.
Yes.
Who are we taking out?
Ooh.
Right? You got to take 2 people out. If you put both of them in,
who would I take out?
Yeah.
Oh, Anthony Davis and Paul George for sure.
Paul George,
not
Curry.
Yeah, no, both of those got to go.
Not Karl Towns.
No, come on, man. They number 1.
Well, the Clippers are right there.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, but I mean, Paul George ain't done what Karl Anthony Towns has done.
Okay. I mean, I think it's difficult. There's guys that, I mean, yeah.
But here's the deal, Jay. Do you leave Steph Curry out of anything? I'm sorry, bro. He got to be there. He got to be there, Jay.
At some point,
yeah,
you're not.
At some point,
yeah. Like LeBron's defying all things.
Steph Curry is going to have to be on the very downside of his career before he's not an all-star.
Well, and the other reason I thought Steph would get there, I know there were some cases and writers writing against it, but Steph technically had the second most votes in the West for guards. Now, there's some new metrics they've done the last couple of years where it's player rankings, votes, and this is for the starters, and SGA bumped him. But SGA was close in votes.
Right.
But, I mean, like, Fox is nowhere near the votes. Some of these other guards are nowhere. I mean, Steph is a very popular player.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, and we know at the end of the day, it's a popularity vote. So, he's going to have to be on the very end of his career for him not to make it.
Man, I said it. They got so many. I mean, like, you start to look at, I think there were 3 first-timers in the East, but in the West, it's like 18th, 9th, 12th, 10th. I mean, there's so many guys that are just racking up years. And the West is, again, there's James Harden is a legend. He's not going to be, I mean, he used to always make it.
Hey.
Kyrie used to always make it.
First ballot.
Chris Paul used to always make it.
First ballot Hall of Famers.
Yeah. Westbrook.
Yes. Not going to make the All-Star team.
They got all the aging stars in the West. Now, there's still some good young ones, too.
That's the thing, Jason. It's like the changing of the guard.
Yeah.
And, okay. We talk about understanding both sides of the business. If you're the NBA and you know that it's the changing of the guards, but are you going to squeeze every last bit out of these superstars that you have now?
Absolutely.
That's why we got Paul George.
Yeah.
That's why we got Stephen Curry.
Yeah.
That's why we got all the aging superstars. You're going to milk them suckers for all they worth because they're on their way out.
Absolutely. There'll be a time where we'll miss them all.
And you know what? And it might be after a while we look up and De'Aaron going to be like, whoa, this is 5th year for De'Aaron.
Yeah.
You know, and Sabonis got 7.
Right.
You
They
know,
could have had 8 or 9.
Right.
Yeah.
But still, you're going to milk all those old guys until it's time for them to go.
Yeah. And again, they've played like all-stars. They've looked like all-stars. They just didn't get the recognition, unfortunately for them.
True.
So a couple other things around the league. As far as the reserves go, I was really happy, and I don't know if you saw the clip last night of the Pacers playing the Knicks. Knicks won a great game. Brunson dropped 40. They're chanting MVP at the Garden for him. Staying after his interview, he's being asked about that chant. He's being asked about being named a reserve. And he's overwhelmed and like tears are in his eyes. And you just go, I feel so good for him. Like he knows where he was. He was kind of a role player to a bigger piece to a star. That is a journey well lived right there.
Bro, so ask him, does being an all-star matter?
It means the world to him.
It means the world to any player. So, I mean, it is what it is. When you make it, great. When you don't make it, okay. You know what? Like I said, it's not going to kill you, but you do want to be at that ultimate level. And for a player like Brunson, man, I mean, think about it. You know, I felt the exact same way when Isaiah Thomas was getting getting all those accolades. You're not 7 foot.
Right.
You know, if you put that boy in the middle of Arden Fair Mall right now, you probably couldn't tell who he was.
Yeah.
You know, but for him to come to this league and do what he's doing, man, I mean, you know, you got to look at yourself and say, wow, I finally did it.
Yeah. A couple of things from around the league before we get to our pregame show at the top of the hour. There was some, rumors circulating, and there could be some logic behind this, but some talk, LeBron tweeted the other day about he did like an hourglass, like time is running out. And then it's, what does this mean? Does it mean his career? Does it mean him with the Lakers? Well, some people have suggested it might make sense actually for the Lakers to trade him. I think his agent came right out and was like, no, that's not going to happen. But if you allowed that fantasy world, like, are the Lakers going to win it all?
No.
I don't think so either.
No.
And it doesn't mean if you can't win it all, you have to do something, but that's kind of an organization that is about winning it all or nothing.
Jason, I said this when they went out and got LeBron. Because you remember, Kobe had just left.
Yeah.
And they had to have that next big-time superstar. And really, Kobe's last year, the Lakers were strapped to him.
Right.
There's no way you're going to trade Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere. You ride out with Kobe Bryant. It's the exact same thing with LeBron James. They will not trade him. I don't care what happens, what go down. LeBron is going to go out his way.
Yeah, and I think when you have a guy like him, more so like I'm thinking like Kobe was there the entirety of his career, or like Curry in San Francisco.
Right.
I mean, if Curry tells the Warriors, I don't want to go anywhere, even if it might make sense to do it, you got to leave him for what he's done for you for all those years.
And they hold all the cards, Jason, really. Think about this. You say, okay, LeBron, we're thinking about letting you go. We're going to trade you. And LeBron said, well, you know what? I'm going to roll out as a Laker. If you trade me, I'm done. Then what?
Yeah, exactly.
then what?
Yeah.
How are you going to trade this dude?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. Same thing with Steph.
Yeah.
Well, Steph, you gave us all you had, but we're going to trade you now. No. I'm going to live and die here. So if I'm not playing here, I'm done.
Yeah.
And they can quit and be just fine. But how's that organization going to be now?
Yeah. You don't want to be the ones that force them out
Exactly.
by any means.
Right.
It's going to be interesting the next 6 days, though, what comes up as a rumor, what real trade. Yesterday was a significant enough trade. Steven Adams traded from the Grizzlies, though he's injured, to the Rockets for some future picks and Victor Oladipo. But it's going to start. There'll be, whether they're big major moves. I mean, last year's going to be tough to top. I mean, you had icons, Kyrie moving and Kevin Durant moving.
Right.
Westbrook. I mean, there was just a lot of players that moved around the league. But we'll see. We'll see what happens over the next couple of days.
I honestly don't think that it's going to be that big of a magnitude of guys. I mean, come on, man. It's only one Kevin Durant.
Right.
It's only one Kyrie and Westbrook.
Yeah.
I mean, only one Harden.
Yeah.
All of those guys just landed.
Yeah. I don't expect that, but we'll see what's coming up. But I'm looking forward to this Kings and Pacers. I know we're going to have more coming up here on Kings Live pregame. It's a good time. I mean, there's some slower times, exciting times, and then really what's left here, the All-Star game and then the back half of the NBA season.
And Jason, and we're still talking about competitive basketball.
Yeah.
That's all we asked for, remember?
We're not talking about, hey, Henry, they're in 13th. If they go 8-2, they can maybe get in the play-in game.
Bro, we asked for a competitive basketball team, and the basketball guys gave us one.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm fine.
The biggest problem we're experiencing is expectations and two guys playing like all-stars that didn't get named all-stars.
Yeah, that's going to stick for a minute.
Yeah. Well, it is Kings and Pacers coming up. Henry and I are back with that in just a moment. This was Game Night. Thank you so much for listening here on Sactown Sports.
Jiffy Lube, a proud partner of Sactown Sports, is sending Styles and Watkins on the road to Las Vegas.